Hi, quite a few of you reach out to me, DM me, and ask me the same questions. How to connect Ikigai and link it to the strategic triangle? I understand it's a lot to take it in. So what I'm going to do is, it's Sunday morning today. I'm going to do a Zoom interview with my best MBA friend, Despina. She's actually in Switzerland. It's 7 a.m. in the morning over there. What she's going to do is she's going to share with you her example, a real life example. So by doing that, we'll help you to have a better understanding so that you can work on yours as well. Let's do that. Hi, my name is Montana. I'm a certified ICF coach, situational leadership, NLP, and timeline therapy trainer.
I started doing it is I really started about the things that energize me at work, and not only at work, but as a person. So from the beginning of, I would say already by the time I was 20s, I really realized that when it comes to cooking, when it comes to physical exercise, environment, I'm very aware and conscious about it. And these have been values that have been driving me in how I live my life and later my family. And that's why, and somehow re-energize me is when there's a learning and development factor, but also to understand things. My style might be a bit didactic sometimes. It took me a while to understand what I'm genetically encoded for. So the things I do great without spending a lot of energy. Actually, when I do them, I enjoy myself and things just fly. Here are the things I listed in the beginning were more on the professional side. So, for example, I work for the B2B food industry. Basically, we develop ingredients that are being incorporated into manufactured food or beverage products. And when we go to our customers, we don't go with a white powder. We need to create a prototype. And a prototype can be, for example, a muffin, but then it's not just baking a muffin. You need to come up with claims around it. For example, low sugar, low fat, high fiber, and enriched with vitamins. It has to be tasty, delicious. So it's a combination of different needs from consumer's perspective, as well as technological needs from customer perspective. And basically through a concept prototype development, we build a storyline why this product will be the next best thing on the market. And this process was something that from the beginning of my career, it was something that flew unconsciously from me. Yes. So basically we did this concept as part of the MBA journey. And when I started my MBA, I was thinking about, I do an MBA and maybe I will be able to transfer my skills across different sectors. But then throughout the MBA, it became also very clear with me that my skills are particularly precious for the industry I'm already in. So that's why I think my place to be, and it's also in a field that I can see the impact on people's daily life every day, is the food industry. And there I think I can really combine my passions and my strengths into positions that have a strong strategy dimension, like a market business development, as well as execution. So I'm a person who likes to be also in the field and interact with customers, with teams as part of projects. Yes, and what I would really like to do from now on is, in order to keep my learning and understanding and my, I would say, agility and awareness, be involved also in some startups.
When you answer all these three key questions, what is the most challenging moment for you really to figure it out? You know, the sweet spot in the middle.
The most challenging part was to find what I'm genetically encoded for. And I think this is because in our lives we get into the workforce and we start working and we think what we do or how we do things. When we see our responsibilities, we never really understand what flows and what is difficult for us. And also a lot of people have taught us that it's nice to be challenging and we have to stretch ourselves and it's part of the journey. And this challenge is good because yes, it's good to be out of the comfort zone. But there is always a very fine balance, that there are few things that you are really good at and you should always try to optimize and of course somehow balance your weaknesses. So for me the most difficult part was really to differentiate my responsibilities and all the things I have done in my career and I have done, let's say, well, from the things I'm really good at.
How long did it take for you to figure all this out?
I think it's a process, so one should not expect that they will be given this white spreadsheet and they will fill it into 2 hours and then it will be done. I think it's a life is a journey and it's self-exploration. And we.
All right, so we move to the triangle part now.
Yeah. So basically, the structure is clear, so I will not go through it. But before I'm going to the future, I really question myself, where am I today? So what I have done after 12 years of professional experience, if I would join a new company, what would be my value proposition? And as in the case of any value proposition, I think you have your hard facts, which is who you have worked, what type of jobs have you done, the different geographies you might have served, and some people, for example, what is your network, and then you have other assets which are more linked to you and your education. The skills have a lot to do with what we mentioned before, which was on the one hand what you are genetically good at, and skills that you developed throughout your career or throughout the situations you have been exposed, and because you have been exposed quite frequently, somehow you master them. Same for values. I think the values have to do a lot with things that we are passionate about, but it's also a bit linked to the purpose. So I will not spend too much time going into these 7 boxes, because basically it's more a hard fact space, where I would like to drive focus into 2 things. The first thing is we say customer perspective, but basically it's your next employer perspective. If somebody would hire you or you would go for an interview, what would be your pitch? What is that you do better than anyone else? And basically, what's your value proposition? And that's how what I feel I have achieved, especially over the last 8 years. Basically, the fact that I developed and launched new either products or businesses across the globe. And again, it's a combination of your, I would say, technical features, which is who you are and your qualifications, and the benefits you have given your employer and your customers. And we always join a company, and when we join the company and we want to ride this wave, we join for a reason. So, for example, when I joined my previous company, for me it was a clear step moving from a technical background and from being in the lab and having a more R&D function to be more on the driving seat and being the one who will also shape from a commercial perspective and develop a new business. So a good hint, and that's for today, is to ask ourselves, why are we in this position? Why did we join here in the first place? This can change. So I've been quite some time I spent quite some time with my previous employer. When I joined, this was the main driver. When this was achieved, so basically, it's clear to me I want to work in the food industry, and I want to work with companies that share the same values as me. So when I was looking at who will be my next employer, I had done my research. To identify who would be the companies I would be working for. So it's good to visualize the gaps we have in order to get there. And I think that's the most important. The one hand is we list our resources, what we have now, our skills, what we have now, and what you see in red is things where I felt, okay, this is where I need, it was at the end of the MBA when we did that. The purpose. So before the purpose, when I joined my previous company, was really to get the functional skills for something, to get the functional skills, how to shape and develop a new business. Now, 8 years later, and that's what I say, almost 9 years later, it's a long process. I see, yes, I want to do that, but I want it to be linked to something that speaks for my values and who am I. And if, let's say, I'm working in the food industry, and we see how this has developed over the years, we see the population of Earth rising, we see the environment deterioration, then I want to work or come up with business models that will address how we will feed the world in a sustainable and healthy way. So that's, and I think now the purpose is more clear to me. Before it was like getting some skills, but now there is there is a target, there is a destination. And I want to stay in my industry, yes, and I want to make impact in people's life through nutrition.
That's beautiful. I have to say, yeah, it's really made an impact to human life. Especially, we really need more good food
and tasty food.
And tasty food, yes. Thank you so much. Moving forward, I will produce more coaching conversation video every 2 weeks. So please press the subscription button below, ring the bell, drop us a like. That means a lot to me. Thank you.